All right, and we are live back with our Shadowrun. This time around, using the Technoir system. We missed our last game session, so it's been a while since we've all been together and played. But we've got our table back tonight. We've got our players. Chuck, who are you playing?
Oh, snap! I am playing Ivan, the street mage, and despite what Scout says, I can cast more than one spell.
Very nice, very nice. And Steven, who are you playing?
I am playing Scout. I'm an orc ex-cop, and I can cast almost as many spells as Ivan, in that I can't cast spells.
We have to clarify he is Scout 2 and not the best Scout.
I am the original Scout. The original Scout.
OG Scout. We'll see.
It's like the 5 different ramen brands, and they all claim to be the first one.
Jeff, who you got?
I'm playing Gant 2 Proboa, a dwarven street samurai / consummate businessman, face of the party, moral center of the party, owner of a giant tank that we're driving around this zombie-filled city in. So good times.
Entrepreneur, even.
Entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Varying degrees of success with that over his career.
Jake, who you got?
I will be playing Kaylee, an elf with ghoulism who makes a living as a hacker and sometimes as a digital rocker girl in her avatar.
Yeah, your digital CDs are doing really well. You've got one that's just backgrounds of the noise. You call it noise from the sewers, and you just stuck a microphone in the sewers and ran it for 24 hours. It's number one. It's trending.
The thing is, I get all the revenue from keychains that I sell. So right now I'm trying to blackmail the studio execs in charge of it to allow me to release all my albums on keychain thumb drives.
There you go. So last time, who's got a recap from us? What do you guys remember last time? You were successful in rounding up the hit list that you had. Everyone is accounted for, which is a complete payday. But you've got to get out now, and there was some complications with one of your targets. So who wants to give us a little lowdown on what went on there?
Yeah, one of the ones we rescued because we had to go to what was a hotel. I think we had to go to a hotel, and then we
started
split
in
up.
the bowling alley.
Yeah, we started in the bowling alley, and then we got a few people, but then we had to go to a hotel to pick up the rest of them. We split up. I think it was Ivan and I went up. Scout went down because Kaylee was trying to negotiate something with like the hacker that was inside. And one of the people we rescued from the bowling alley apparently has a what's it called? A chest burster inside of them. I think. Is that the right game?
Yeah, shit. I remember that.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Don't copyright strike us.
Definitely has something growing in there. Mm-hmm. What else we got going on? So you had a building rigger that you hopefully maybe saved. Pulled his body out of an
we
ice
took
bath.
him to the vet, right?
Yeah, took him to the vet, and
picked up a few stray dogs.
That's what I was getting at. Your luxury van is filled to bursting, not just with people that you're rescuing, but hounds of all qualities and descriptions. I think
standing room only, and everyone has to carry a dog.
Yeah, pretty much. There might even be a dog on your sidecar on your motorcycle there, Scout. Who knows? A little poodle between the handlebars, maybe.
As long as he's wearing a helmet, that's my rule. Safety first.
Little bike helmet clipped on.
Mm-hmm.
Some doggles.
Right. So we'll just pick up from there. You guys are the last stop you made was the vet clinic to drop off the building rigger to pick up your last. We'll call them pay data on 2 legs, and stabilized. You were told that you need to get her to a hospital relatively quickly. He was able to stabilize her, but there's something going on. There's something growing in her and it's essentially draining her of her vitality. It's it's causing her to not heal as well. Stabilizing was the best he could do.
And we found out that it's also attracting a cloud of killer insects wherever she goes.
Yeah.
So that's something we got to contend with.
Ivan has her masked with invisibility, which seems to, at least for now, keep the insects away, or at least keep them from tracking you. So the next part of this is exfil, but there's not really a plan for that. You were kind of left on your own.
Yeah. We haven't come up with an idea yet. Wasn't there something with the AI that could potentially stop whatever's going on so the nuke doesn't have to go off?
So Marcy, the AI, was originally who gave us the secondary request layered on top of Morlock's job, which was to try to save her sister, which we just kind of rescue her, which it seems like we just got. Because we have, I think it's Tabitha, I think is the AI or something like that. I don't know if Kaylee's connected or anything like that to her, but I know that we also need to do something. I made a promise with the people that we saved that we would try to make it instead of it being like a broad strike on the entire city, being like a surgical strike at one spot. So we're trying to get the people out, and then we've promised to go back in to try and do that. But I don't know if we've actually talked to the new suitcase AI yet, have we?
I don't think we have.
Yeah. Yep. You've got the suitcase. One of the people in the hotel that you rescued was basically telling you, hey, look, we can stop this from happening. We can stop the nukes from flying. You were able to, as you said, talk him into, hey, we'll drop you off safely first. So let's get to that safely part. What's your plan? How are you getting out of this bug-infested hellhole?
I don't know.
Is the van amphibious? Because Chicago's on the coastline.
I do not have any tags that would suggest it. No.
So we should try it.
I do have a riot hose, as we all know, as I've established that several times.
So that'll be the underwater propulsion.
Is it still full of gasoline?
I think we used it on the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's got treads. I don't have anything that suggests it's aquatic. No.
Now that and the magical barrier, spherical, even if there's no physical barrier on the water, I'm sure the magical one would.
Okay, well, if water is out, the next thing Scout would suggest is maybe tunneling. Could we develop a little boring machine?
We could check. I mean, maybe.
What do you think you are, the A-team?
Sewer systems have been very good for us in the past. We've had a lot of good memories of nearly screwing the pooch in sewers. So why not one more time? So we could do that if we can figure out what
Ninja
the sewer
Turtle
systems are. Yeah.
You've been in the sewer so much that Gantu probably keeps hip waiters around in any vehicle that he's in.
I'm going to invest in some sewers next time. Everybody needs the shit, so I feel like there's probably a business opportunity there. I don't know. We could pull up city sewer systems and see if we could find a way out. That could be a possibility.
That might be to find an aqueduct large enough for the truck.
Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, just to escort them out, because all we need to do is escort them out, and then if we want to go back in and be good guys and do what we promised, we could always do that.
Because you'd never break a promise. Pulling up the City Works system is easy enough for Kaylee to do, and unfortunately, it looks like the largest tunnels actually head out waterway. Getting opposite direction. Most of it is data lines, electrical lines. Sewage is all handled within the city proper, so sewage lines really don't go outside of the city, except for the ones that go into the water, and they're kind of nebulous where they end up. Kaylee kind of suspects that they just might dump the refuse into the water.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We could break into Sporting Goods and steal a whole bunch of scuba gear.
Canoes would work well as well. Perhaps if there is a sewage treatment plant, that might be an avenue.
There are many sewage treatment plants.
Okay, pull up plans on sewage treatment and map us out the route, and we'll go get some canoes.
Did we really not plan an exit route before we dropped in here?
There was no exit route to even. They were just like, we can get you in. Good luck getting out.
Yeah.
Should have thought that through a little bit more, I'm realizing.
You're basically told that they will set various watches, and if you can get a message to them when you're close to the barrier, if you can figure out some way to get them a message, they will breach a barrier for you. But that's all they can do, and you got to figure out a way to get the message to them.
Drones through the sewers?
Do you have a drone?
Kaylee, I'm sure, can hack a drone somewhere.
Oh, I have a drone. Unfortunately, no, it has audio output, so I could get a message out that way, at least audibly.
I will also say that Ivan, given the parameters of the spell, knows that it's not just a hemisphere, like top of the city. It's a sphere. It encompasses the whole city. So there's not, as far as Ivan knows, there's not a way through the barrier in any particular direction.
I do have a detection spell. If we got close to the barrier and just kind of drove along it, I could use that to see if I can detect someone who might be looking for us.
Okay.
We need gasoline and fire. We need pyrotechnics, something to draw a lot of attention to one place.
I also have fireball.
That would do it.
So the question just becomes, do you want to try and get to the edge of the dome over water, or do you want to just drive until you hit the edge of a dome?
It's probably safer if we stay in the truck, I think.
I agree. If we look up at the sky, can we tell roughly where the topmost peak is?
You guys probably have some kind of magnification devices, either like just simple binoculars or something like that. So the barrier isn't visible to your naked eye until something collides with it. So when you see these swarms of insects get close enough and they hit it, you see it light up. It looks like patterned hexagrams. Yeah. It doesn't seem to hurt the thing that's hitting it. It's just a physical barrier that becomes visible when something does hit it.
Okay. I mean, you'd figure, hey, Kaylee, can you look at map and see where center of town is and where we are? And then we'll just drive directly away from center of town.
Sure, I'll pull up a map that's available with the local directory. Like, ooh, here are places of interest and whatnot. And then I'll just pinpoint where we are in relation to the center of the map.
So the bowling alley is pretty much right in the center of the city, and you're just several blocks away from it to the east of it. So you're pretty much in city center.
Let's pick a direction with
so pick a direction. North you'll hit water.
Let's go east. It's closer to home.
True.
Okay.
All right.
Scout, are you actually? There's no room for you, so you're in your motorcycle. Everyone else is in the truck. Who is behind the wheel? Gontu?
Gontu, indeed.
Okay. How many people can fit in the front? Do you have just one shotgun, or can multiple people be in the driver's cab?
I think of it more like good old fashioned bench seats, because I think he doesn't really like bucket seats because he'll sink into them. So we could probably fit
as many people as you can shove in there,
or more if they're not too heavy. Yeah,
he's on a bench seat with a booster, and it's got the wooden blocks on the pedals.
If Scout were there, he'd say only 3 people could fit because there's only 3 sets of seatbelts.
Safety first.
Right. So you drive east. City center, there's a lot of buildings on fire. You see masses of these insects occasionally going above you. They seem to be directed to the largest parts of violence that's going on. Like, so you can hear gunshots, explosions, and if you look in that direction, the insect spirits just seem to be drawn. Occasionally, you'll hit small pockets of these zombies that you just now drive over. They are not large enough to cause you any problems. But now you are out of city center. You are on. You hit an interstate going east, so you're just outside of the city. And this takes we'll say it takes about an hour for you to get through all the wreckage and deal with any zombies that get in your way. So you're on this good stretch of interstate road. Ahead of you, you're not exactly sure how far you're going to have to travel to hit the edge of the sphere. But ahead of you, there looks like there is on the road going in your direction and the road coming back into the city. Along both lanes, there's a firefight going on between vehicles. People have Mad Maxed them up where they've welded guns and hard points to the cars. You can't tell if it's like an actual dispute or if it's some kind of game. But either way, both sides of the road going and coming are just packed with these road warriors going at it.
That's something.
Detour?
All right. Well, someone needs to get on the gun, please. That's the first thing, just in case. Can we? Yeah. Can we? I know that the only other person who's good with guns is on a motorcycle right now.
On the old hog.
Yeah, we're both driving, so we can't shoot guns. We're both good. But can we? Is there any way we can identify them? Because I know we found like a diner filled with like nomad caravan.
Yeah.
But is there anything we can do to maybe try to identify anything about them?
Ooh, I mean, just looking them through. Does your van have any kind of sensor package?
Let's see. I don't think there's anything like that. Like in terms of what's listed, no.
Okay. All right, so no heads-up display, nothing like that. So you're just using your own eyes and maybe a set of binoculars that you've got through.
Yeah.
People are dressed like they've gone full fashion sense road warrior, and it really is. You can't tell if they're serious or not. There are guys wearing shoulder pads that were obviously stolen from a sporting goods shop. They've used like shoe polish to put lines under their eyes. They're holding hockey sticks. Some of them have guns, but right now there's actually no gunfire between them. They're ramming each other with these cars that have just been fitted with extra pieces of sheet metal, like long spikes, different things like that. And for as many people that are yelling and screaming at each other just in anger, there's as many laughing and just drinking back soy beer and looking like they're just enjoying a spectacle. You're uncertain what this is. And as far as who these people are, some of them do look like the folks that you pass by in the diner, but you don't see any particular one that like, oh, I remember that car at the diner. Just some of the stuff looks similar. Yeah,
well,
LARPing.
Yeah, what a weird time to do this. So yeah, Gantel will be like, "Listen, I'm pretty sure old." Did I call it? I called the truck something awful. I can't remember what it was. The Hussy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Hussy can make it through here. But we can also, take a detour. I mean, these are just a bunch of regular cars with sheet metal, man. This is full-on military-grade vehicle I'm driving around in. So, I don't know. If anyone's got
this
a
motorcycle's new, I don't want it to get rammed into.
Oh, you should certainly hit that line first, Scout.
We'll definitely see you on the other side then, buddy.
I mean, it seems like they're all wearing safety gear. They got pads on. They armored the cars. We should just let them be. They're being safe about it.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to just muscle through it, or do you want to go around, or do you want to call out to them and see if we can get safe passage or whatever?
Do you have speaker loud talkie horn?
It's a luxury vehicle, so I'm going to say maybe. I don't know. Would it be fair to say that?
I'd give that to you. You got some kind of air horn or speaker.
PA.
Right. So if you roll forward, you get there just before you grab your loudspeaker and broadcast anything. You see in front of you, there's like it's a 4-door sedan, and inside they've got luggage strapped to the outside. It looks like it's a family of 2 with 3 children, and there's a dog. It's got its nose in the back window, and they seem to be negotiating something with some of these faux armored folks that are hanging around. And then it looks like some creds or something is exchanged, and everybody steps back. And there's like this person coming out wearing like it's a troll. He's got his gut hanging over these Daisy Duke like shorts, and he's wearing these big like knee high sort of boots, and he walks onto the field. He's got a big checkered flag, slams it down, and that 4-door sedan just guns it, and it's going through almost like an obstacle course as these other cars are attempting to smash into it and ram it. The person behind the wheel seems to be doing a good job until the bulldozer collides into its left side. You see the wife throw her hands up just as she's crushed as that city works vehicle plows into the car, and the whole front end is just smashed flat. The rear end is left normal. There's blood just spreading all over the window, and the little dog is still in the back window, just oblivious to what's going on.
I take back what I said about safety. This is definitely not safe.
Okay, I've got this.
And that's what you see as you roll up. So you didn't come in tactically, you didn't come in fast, just normal speed. So as you're coming up,
I'd be keeping a safe distance on the motorcycle. Just
okay, so you probably don't see them first then. Gantu may. There are several of these folks that are wearing these, football pads and such, and they've even got some helmets on. But there are several of them lining the sides of the road that have military hardware. They look like rocket launchers. And they're all kind of pointing at your vehicle, and they're kind of turning as you're slowly getting closer to the caravan of people in front of you.
Okay, well they ain't fooling around. What are you thinking there, Ivan?
I was just going to lean out the window and incinerate all of them for harming that poor innocent family. But then I see they have rocket launchers, and I take great safety and comfort in being inside the hussy. But rocket launchers make me a little bit uneasy.
The troll on the Daisy Dukes goes to the back door of that 4-door sedan that got crushed, rips the door off, takes the little doggy, puts on the shoulder, and pulls like a little shirt over it that says "Best Dog." It just pats the dog, feeds the dog, walks off to the side. Doesn't do anything about the people in the car. Bulldozer comes by and just kind of pushes the wrecked sedan off the road.
Well, I mean, we could see what the deal is here. And I feel like if we try to turn around now, we might get a rocket or two upside the...
Yes. I mean, at least if they let us try and proceed, I can cast a knockout spell on the driver of the bulldozer to keep them from coming at us.
Yeah. I will contact over to Scout, and I'll say, I know you just bought that motorcycle, but it might behoove you to just leave it here and hop on inside for your safety, and also to get someone who knows how to use a damn gun on the gun.
You only
just throwing it out there.
You only have 32 payments left, Scout.
I mean, I didn't actually get insurance because I didn't drive it much.
I have an idea. I have an idea, Scout. Let us park it somewhere safe and hidden. And then you get in and we go through.
Can we not just go around?
I don't think there's an around. And I think if we turn around at this moment, they're going to.
I feel like if I turned around at this moment, it would be fine. You guys are further up.
Well, you guys go ahead and do that then. You have fun.
Maybe I could scout ahead to find a different route. Kaylee, sure. Can you send me some directions to try?
Oh, so can Kaylee scout ahead? Got it.
I have a few ideas of where you can go right now, Scout. But for now, I would second the idea that you hide the motorcycle and get on the guns.
Okay, but we're on a highway right now, right? There's not really many places to hide a motorcycle.
You've just got a long stretch of road behind you going back into the city. You did not get very far outside of the city. Not even far enough that there's been a gas station or anything that you passed.
I'll tell you what. You leave the bike here. Don't hide it. Just leave it. And just hop in the back. Get on the gun. And I will let you live rent-free somewhere in the bowling alley.
Not the boiler room.
Not the boiler room and not the apartment above, but we can probably work out some place for you back by where the rack machines are.
I just had an idea. We should weaponize the insects that are looking for that lady. I'll just take the invisibility
No, I want to go back to the other conversation. Would we be roommates?
The invisibility spell off.
I live in
and the insects come and swoop down over everything.
That's not a bad idea.
I like it.
How much actual space is there in the hussy right now?
Very little. There's enough for you, not enough for you and your motorcycle.
Yeah.
What about the dog in the sidecar?
Oh, of course.
All right, we don't need that one anyways.
Well, I got my new German Shepherd up front with me, named the Best Orc. So I know that one's safe. And then I know that
really running out of names there, aren't you?
I picked up a Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
I named him Martin because he's the best ex-cop.
Nice. There you go. Okay. We're really just covering all the bases now.
I just drive my motorcycle into the middle of this wreckage.
I think we do a combination. I think it's best if Scout, you get on board with us. And I think the plan to summon the Storm is a great one, Ivan. At the very least, that's going to cause some chaos with them. And
as long as I have your firm promise that we'll be roommates, because I can't afford to keep paying off.
I ain't promising roommates, but I will promise.
I heard roommates.
No, you're not living.
With me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a deal breaker. That really is a deal breaker.
Roommates with
maybe
Kaylee.
If you knew more than one spell, but fireball everywhere.
I just wonder. Is it harder to find a replacement member for the party for Scout if he were to die?
Yeah, die? Who's talking about dying? We're talking about going a different route.
Kaylee's posting on the Shadow Net, looking for one live body to fill position in Shadowrun. Yeah. No qualifications necessary.
I'm just renaming a dog best teammate.
All right, you getting on board or not? Come on, man.
So you are best ex-cop now.
We have to make a good effort to come back for the motorcycle, is all I'm saying. It's a luxury motorcycle. It's top end.
I'll promise.
Okay.
We will make
roommates, and we come back for the motorcycle, and I'm getting it.
I will not be your roommate. We will make an effort.
My conflict dead.
Final offer.
All right, so what's Scout doing? So you're behind the very tricked out van.
I would park my motorcycle kind of along the side, where no one's gonna scratch into it if they're going down the middle. Preferably behind another car that might have been left on the highway if possible. Give it a little bit of cover.
Sure. Okay.
And then I'll do that sort of half walk, half jog. That is as fast as I can go.
So the cars. that are left around on the side of the road look like they're people that have tried to turn around and then got rockets launched into them. they're like black into holes, and you just got to take your
Yeah,
shiny
so
new motorcycle.
I want the motorcycle to be on the less black side of the car, like the one that has the least smoke and explosion damage.
Right. There you go. Sugantu, Scout, I guess, hops in the back with the dog, with his
Get
dog.
on the gun.
And I gained a few pounds since our last Caribbean vacation, so it really is getting to be a tight fit.
Yeah. Probably standing on a few people to get to the gun cupola.
All right. I'll roll on up. We'll roll on up to whoever it was who was doing the talking with the family that got wrecked.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
All right. You pull it down, and there's it's a woman who, so from the shirt to the waist is like got a corporate exec, like a really high dollar, just power suit on. But then from the pants down, it's like floral print Caribbean shorts wearing sandals. And she's got like a captain's hat on, like a yacht owner might wear. It's got a little pan device out as you're coming up. It gives you a beautiful smile. This person spent several thousands of new yens on that dental work they had done. This person was obviously a face of some corporation. As you pull up, gives you that winning smile. Says, "So, are we looting? Are you trying the gauntlet today?"
Well, could you explain, or at least provide a little bit more detail about them two options now?
Sure. When we loot you, we kill you all and take everything inside your vehicle. That's option one.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Option two, we have a little sport, as it's been really boring here the last week. Hey,
Sure.
The sport includes you get to drive on through the road. We try and stop you. If you make it, great. If you don't, we loot you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that sounds. So, what kind of obstacles we talking about in this here course? This here obstacle course.
Whatever we feel like trying today.
Oh, that's no. I appreciate a little spontaneity in life. Very nice. Am I to assume that your looting is responsible for this just beautiful eclectic attire that you now have on?
No, just kind of does a little pirouette and says, "Do you like it? It's a new fashion statement."
You look exquisite. Absolutely. You
all
are,
business up top, party below.
You are our shining star in this, dark city that we're in. Yes.
So again, with a dazzling smile, you hear as she pulls out and holds it sideways. Really top of the line handgun. Gold plated and everything. Says, "So should I kill you now and loot you, or would you like to try the gauntlet? Either one's fine for me today."
Gone to maybe tell her about the nukes, and we're getting out. They might want to get out with us, maybe.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Are you all familiar with the fact that there are going to be wholesale nuclear explosions here in about 72 hours that are going to obliterate the entire cityscape, including yourselves?
The smile does not waver. It's like, we expect something like that. I mean, she kind of looks around at this devastated wasteland. It's like, they're not just going to let this stand. So, we kind of figured, and we're just going to have fun till the end.
I appreciate that mindset. And with that in mind, I think we're going to try that gauntlet, right? We ready to try the gauntlet, Ivan? We ready to give that a try?
We are ready to try the gauntlet.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Scout, we ready to try the gauntlet?
She holds up her pan. She says, "No, if everybody can just say cheese, we'd like to get photographs of the people that we kill."
Gouda.
Oh, that's sweet. Can we get a copy of that, please?
Your pan's all peeing.
Airdropped it.
I am going to put this on the wall of my next business after I succeed at getting through this here gauntlet. That's what I'm going to do. Whew,
all right. Just wait for the flag, and then I would say good luck, but I'm really hoping you all die spectacularly. Have a good day.
Hey, you too. You too. She seemed nice.
No.
Everybody in the back who has heard this conversation is just like, there's just silence.
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. They were blowing up cars and stuff like that. This ain't a car. This is the hussy. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, everyone put on a seatbelt.
I don't have enough, so everyone just
if we pack yourselves to a wall or something like that.
If we pack it big enough, there's nowhere for anyone to slop around to as we're getting jostled. So
I'll put on the seatbelt of my hover chair.
There you go. So as the Daisy Duke's wearing troll starts to wander in front of the car, and you start to hear like high pitched whining sounds, and you kind of look to either side of your window, and there's a couple of ultralights that are spinning up, take flight. You notice that there's bombs underneath them, and they take off into the sky. Ahead of you, Ivan, just kind of looking down the road, just kind of trying to get an idea of where best to lodge that fireball, of course. There's something striding, half mile off. You can just see it, so it looks really small in the distance, but there's something striding with very exaggerated movements that you expect is actually quite large. It looks like a construction mech of some sort.
Should I drop the invisibility spell now?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Okay, I drop it.
I thought you already did it.
All right, you drop the invisibility spell. Let's see. Roll a d6 for me, Chuck.
Three.
All right. It's just going to tell me how long it takes for the insects to arrive and to sniff her out. All right. So, troll comes up, flounces around as the beer belly jiggles over these very tight Daisy Duke shorts, raises the flag, looks right at let's see, who's not Gantu, who's next to Gantu in the front.
The best orc.
Is that where the gun is? It's in the front.
No, it's in the back because it's all turrety digital.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you said so the best orc was in the front.
Gantu, the best orc, the best cop, and then Ivan.
All right, so it is Gantu then. He looks right at Gantu as he's raising up this flag. He does this with his eyes, looks at you, gives you the middle finger, and the flag comes down.
Gantu looks very disappointed, but he guns it nonetheless. Okay, we're on the road. And yeah, I'll just gun it.
Yeah, you gun it. What's your plans, guys? There's two ultralights in the air, and you saw strapped to the bottom frames are like two. They look like fuel bombs, maybe.
Can you
remember your history?
The flying things, and I'll take care of that mech up there.
The flying things is the bugs that are incoming?
No,
don't see them yet.
The drones with the bombs attached to them.
Could Kaylee maybe hack into them? I'm not sure.
That's a good idea.
That stuff works.
Oh, that's nice. You're muted there, Jake.
Sorry about that.
Hey, no problem.
I will certainly try to hack into them, and I'll plug myself into the Hussey's like radio system, sort of send out a wave to see if I can't locate and maybe get into one of these janky drones.
Sure. So this would be in the virtual space. Looks like finding the drone's easy.
Okay.
They're pretty large signals nearby, and they are drone operated by somebody on the ground. So I would think an operate is going to be your verb to just kind of grab control of them.
All right.
Now, while you're doing that, Gantu's the one behind the wheel. So Gantu, maybe some kind of driving test as you gun it. And this tricked out van has got a lot more power. It's very deceptive. It looks like it would be slow, but it's not.
Yeah. So I would use a few things I would be interested in. Well, obviously I would probably use operate here. It's got treads. So no matter the terrain, whether it's all like if we're going over top of debris or whatever, I feel like those would apply. And then, let's see, in terms of just operation.
was going to say what I'm needing the roll for is that these Mad Max style vehicles that have all this extra plating and physical, just large sharp objects on them are trying to ram into your sides as you're going down. As far as the highway itself, they've kept it very clean.
Okay.
No pothills and anything like that. It's just a matter of you need to outmaneuver or outrun these vehicles that are trying to collide into you.
I'm gonna go with I'm tougher than them. So I'm gonna go armored, heavy, huge. I'm gonna go with those three on my hauler.
Okay.
If that's all right. So just like the idea that we are just big enough to take it.
Sounds good. So I'm going to put, that's 3 dice. I'm going to put 3 dice into your charged pile there.
Okay.
Go ahead and make that roll. I'm going to set the difficulty at, difficulty is going to be a 5 because there's a lot of these vehicles.
Okay. Here we go. That's a 5.2, I believe.
5.2. So you succeed. So base success is it's not sticky. It just means like for this moment you're going past them just fine. Do you want to discharge any of these of the 3 dice that you made to make it more permanent? Like you can discharge one to make it so that some of them ram into each other, or you maneuver in such a way that you create a pile up so it's harder to get to you.
I love the pile up idea.
Pile up idea.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that we'll go ahead and discharge one of them for that.
Okay.
Full Blues Brothers.
Which, as a note, that does give me 1 charged die.
Of course. Yep.
And the rest of yours go over to the discharged pile over here.
Oh, haha, too slow. Man, she might look big, but she quit.
Kaylee, you find the signal very easily, and overriding it is not an issue. Really, the issue is your unfamiliarity maybe with running drones like this. So give me an operate check. Do you want to tag any adjectives that might help?
Well, I already made an operate roll, and
you did? Okay.
Yes.
So push dice. So you got a 6.1. That's great. So for this action sequence, you get a hold of both of them. So they're in your control. Okay. But you're not able to direct them just yet. Anyone else want to do anything? Scout, you're on the guns.
Yeah, I would wait to see if Kaylee got the drones before I start shooting them. What about Daisy Duke? Like, is she visible in a crowd anywhere?
Oh yeah, hard to miss the troll wearing the Daisy Dukes, just standing off to the side of the road.
I suppose I'll just start opening fire on them.
Nothing in the rule said you couldn't.
Well, I feel bad about it. Like I'm a cop. I'm not here to cause chaos, but I am aggressive.
Okay.
I'm an orc, so that goes along with aggressive, right?
Are you stereotyping your species now? Yeah. Okay,
also, this is on my disadvantage, adjective list, but passionless. I think that should partly be
passionless.
I don't care that they're people, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
Okay.
Anything else?
My 3 then? No, I got nothing else.
Okay. All right.
It would be shoot or operate.
This would be shoot. Okay, it looks like a 6. 6. Okay. So what adjective do you want to put on these people? And now with this, with a simple success like this, it's just momentary, it's fleeting. So you're not killing anybody, but you can say frightened, you can say disorganized, for instance, just to give you some adjectives you can tag them with. Now, if you want to spend some of your dice there and make it more sticky, you can. So something that's
I don't want to make it sticky right now, but let's say suddenly my brain thesaurus is not working. We'll go with disorganized.
Disorganized. Okay. It's not sticky, so they will recoup after they take an action to do so. Ivan, what are you doing? other than being muted.
We're all talking on the wrong comm channel.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it was channel 6 that I was supposed to be on. That's my bad. That loader I see in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fireball that.
I'm going to fireball that. Okay. So that's going to be supernal, probably. What verb do you use with that on your...
So the verb, that would be shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are you going to add with that? Any adjectives you want to use?
I'm going to do mage and battle mage.
Mage and battle mage. Okay.
And those are all the verbs.
All right. It is at a distance. Can't quite see what it is. You just know it's probably not good for you. But you can go ahead and shoot. I'm going to put this at a 5 as well.
All right.
Sixes, 6-1. Okay, not a problem. Do you want to make this sticky and give it something it's going to need to take some time to fix? Or
well, it already on my fireball. It already has the persistent.
It's got persistent. Okay.
Tag on it. So, I'm just gonna light it.
You don't want to
on
spend
fire.
anything extra. All right. So it's on fire. I assume is the adjective that you're going to put on it.
Yes.
All right. So it's tagged with on fire. All right. Okay. Sounds good. So the first few moments of this seems like it's going really well for you. Gantu maneuvers. He does not get sideswiped by any of these things. He actually creates this stack of cars behind him. Kaylee, it takes you a moment, and the 2 ultra lights kind of dip down a little bit before you negotiate the network, and you get them both under your control, and you got them just kind of circling now while you're getting the hang of things. Still got a fair amount of road ahead of you. You can kind of see where the limit is. Like they actually put up what looks like a goal post at the very end, just past whatever that large thing is that you've got on fire now, Ivan, that you can see in the distance. All right, so continuing on, this is it's going to be 3 rounds of actions likely to be able to get yourself all the way through. I have 1 charged die, and I'm going to spend that now. As the large thing that's in the past that was on fire, you see it's covered in a cloud of something, and then the fire is snuffed out. And then Ivan says, "Oh shoot, that's a fire that's fire suppression mech." Yeah, as it blows an action to basically take care of that being on fire. Otherwise, Gantu, they're coming at you from the front and the side now because they've had a little bit of time to see how fast you're going. So you're kind of surrounded. You're going to either have to bully your way through, or you're going to have to go off-road a little bit.
What's your choice in front of me? Like, what's the thing that's coming at me? What kind of vehicle is it?
What kind of vehicles are coming at you? There are a number of small, like subcompact cars. They've just put all kinds of metal around the sides, but not much in the front and rear. There's some pickup trucks. Over them. Right in front of you, though, is a tow truck.
Tow truck? Oh, okay.
Tow truck.
I thought you said the other ones. Okay, I'm going to...
you got them all excited, and you pulled the rug out from under you.
Yeah, that's why I asked what was in front of me. I'm gonna swerve off to the side, and I'm gonna ride. I'm literally gonna drive over top of some of the compact vehicles.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of veer off a bit to the left because that's the right path, and then I'm just gonna drive up on top and crush them using my treads because I got treads on these things, and so I feel like I can. It's got kind of that climate over top of stuff feel.
All right, sounds good. Don't roll anything yet because I'm going to have them do a round. Kaylee, what are you doing this turn?
I'm just going to keep an eye out for any potential threats outside of what's on the road or outside of the mech using the drones that I've got a control of.
Okay. They do not have great sensor packages. Basically, they just have standard optic. So, like, you don't have zoom or anything else like that, but you can kind of see well enough from their perspective.
All right.
All right. And Ivan, what are you doing this round?
From where I at, can I see where the people with the RPGs are?
They're behind you. It looks like they're solely positioned to keep people from turning around as opposed to going forward.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to fireball that tow truck.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, sounds good. So I'm going to have them do an action here. A second. Ignore this character sheet I'm using. Just using it for rolling. I don't think it rolled. Did it?
Yeah, it did. 6.1.
Oh, there it goes. 6.1. Okay. What did you get on your operate roll last round?
On mine,
5 point. Yeah, 5.1.
5.2.
5.2. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. These are the smaller vehicles that are attempting to crash into, as well as the tow truck is going to try and collide into you with that big like grill front that it has with the pulley system on it. That's basically just a huge ram. So its difficulty is based on how well you did last round moving things around. So you're going to fail on this, but you only discharge 3 of your possible. What did I give you guys? 8 or 9? 8. So you still have some dice that you didn't charge. If you have any adjectives that you want to use to stop this from happening, you can discharge those now.
Okay. So I'm not sure I understand. What am I failing on?
Okay, so the difficulty that they need to do is just a static number. And in this case, I'm basing it on your maneuver last round.
Right.
Which was the 5.2. So they need to get a 5.3 or higher, and they got a 6.2.
Okay.
Right. So now you can make your defense higher, though, by discharging some of your charge dice that weren't being used.
Is it any of us or just Gantu since he's driving?
Well, Gantu is because it's based on its operation, but if anybody thinks something that you can do to help in this, you can discharge yours to do it.
Well, I guess I'm just confused because you'd put a difficulty at 5 on my operate to begin with, which I passed, but then now you're using that as a difficulty for your action. Can I just do some kind of defense roll against this? Like
there really isn't a defense roll. It's just a static number, but you can make that number better by discharging some of your dice if you've got an adjective to go with it. So you used 3 of your possible 8. So you have 5 dice left. So you can pick up to 5 adjectives. You only need 1 to make your difficulty a 6 instead of a 5. You need to make it a 6.3.
Could I?
And everybody can help in this. It doesn't have to be just Gantu.
I have the law-abiding trait. So I feel like I would be criticizing Gantu's driving the entire time, which would make him drive much more erratically than he normally would. As he's like constantly looking over his shoulder, I'm telling him to stay in the lane.
So it's pissing Gantu off,
which would make him harder to hit. No one can actually predict where the car's going to be because he's trying to go, and I'm just telling him to go the other way.
So I'm going to drag a dice into your discharge pile. So 4 of your 8 have been discharged at this point, but that now makes Gantu's roll a 6. But we still need some more.
Having the battle mage thing could I notice and I'd see that we're going to do it and react quickly, maybe to throw some heat at one of the tires of the tow truck, give it a flat and help it steer off.
So you're
the other
using
way.
your battle mage adjective to do a little bit of just to make it more difficult for some of the vehicles to hit. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
6-1. Okay, anyone else? Gantu, you can still add something too.
Yeah, I mean, I have I have really good reflexes as a driver. I have reflex
that's fine.
simulators,
Yep.
so I think I would probably that. I have the so I see them coming and I'm able to react much more quickly than probably the average person would.
Sure, and that ties it up, which means they fail. They got to do better. So again, it's really tight. You manage just to thread the needle, and everything just collides behind you, to the side of you. None of it doing anything more than maybe a flick of paint. As you feel this very bare collision, you're like, "Oh, that's a 1,000 new yen paint job that I'm going to have to get fixed." The tow truck is still in the way, but it doesn't manage to collide with you. The mech that's further down just seems to squat a little bit, and it's raising its two fists up. You can't really see what it's doing with them, but it seems to be waiting for something. So Gantu, you successfully thread that needle. You raised your defense number up, basically, so
Gotcha.
they fail
Yeah,
on
yeah.
all their attacks.
Gotcha.
So you've got 2 more actions to make it through here. And every action you're doing, I'm reducing them. Any successful actions you guys are doing around, I'm reducing their dice pool by 1 because you've gotten rid of some of their capability. Put it that way.
Gotcha.
So like you're 1/3 of the way through. Your action gone to was to crush some cars, get off the side of the road, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I wanted to weave off to the left and see if I can kind of literally just climb on top of a couple and drive past.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me a roll for that. Your difficulty this time is only a 4 because of the success last time. And
Can I apply fight as a verb in this case?
Sure can, since you're crushing some cars. Yeah.
All right. So, and I'll do
and that
fight.
Refreshes your pool, so you have a possible 8 dice you can.
Okay. So I'll do fight as my verb. I'll do heavy, huge, and treads on my hauler. It's just really big. It can climb and it's super heavy. So I feel like all of those would.
So how many was that? 3, 4?
That's 3.
3.
So I'm using 3. Okay. So we'll give that a go. Oh, geez. 4.4.
You only needed a 4.
5. I'm sorry. There's a 5.
You got a 5. Yeah, you only needed a 4. So you succeed. It's not sticky, though. Did you want to expend one of your die to make it sticky? Or no? Remember, when you do that, it gives me dice to...
Yeah, I think I like doing that. I think it's fun. We need to do that exchange economy. So I will make it sticky so that one of these is more long-term crushed.
Okay. Kaylee, you said you were doing what with the aerials?
I was just maintaining visibility on the roads to see if there were any unknown threats that were approaching.
You see there are a few cars coming up the road from the city, and they look like people that are trying to escape and coming up towards the roadblocks.
Well, if they're coming up towards the roadblocks, I'll just fly one of the drones with the bombs directly at the roadblocks.
All right. You going to drop the bomb?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just going to crash the drone into it.
Oh, even better. Even better. Okay. In which case, give me an operate check for that.
Alrighty. Let's see. I guess I'll do technical adjective. Throw that on there. Ooh, there we go.
6. Okay. You only charged 1 die. So do you want to make it sticky? You want to make it something that they're going to have to deal with, or is it just a quick explosion and nothing other than a momentary distraction?
Just a quick explosion with nothing to...
Sure.
Yeah.
So their scouts just jumped to the side of the road, kind of rolling out of the way. They heard the high whine in the air, the high-pitched whine, so they dove out of the way just in time. But you destroy some of the roadblocks. Some of the people that have the rocket launchers had to dive out of the way too.
Fun.
With that. Scout, what are you doing?
What are the main targets that I should be worried about here?
Well, the big ones is there's something really large at the last leg in front of you. You can't quite make it out. That's the big thing. But there's also this tow truck that Gantu's kind of gone off road, crushing some of these vehicles, weaving back in. But that tow truck is probably the biggest thing on the road right now. You know that there was a construction vehicle that had one of those big, what are they called? Ones that you use to go over pavement to smooth it out.
Steamroller?
Steamroller, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a steamroller that rolled over that 4-door sedan. You know it's here somewhere, but you're not seeing it right away.
The big thing at the end. Do I feel like our gun on the hussy would be able to actually cause damage to that?
What kind of gun did you get, Gontu? Did you define it as anything special?
Yeah. So so the only real specific thing it has is that it just has burst fire. So that's the only specific tag to it.
Okay. So sounds like it's more useful for infantry, but it might still do something.
Okay. I'll go for the tow truck then.
Gonna go for the tow truck. Okay.
I will use aggressive and persistent because I'm going to be aiming specifically for the cab. And if I my burst fire goes a little off, then I'm going to realign and try again and just keep going.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. It's 4s. You're whittling away at their effectability. No problem. You want to make it sticky?
Yeah, because Jeff likes it and we want to make him happy.
You make it sticky, which means that you just focus the gun barrel on the tow truck and you just light it up. Windshields crack. You see the radiator burst. Some of the wheels on the double axles just pop. You don't know if you have completely disabled it, but you've done a lot of damage to it.
Cool.
Okay. Ivan?
Yeah, I was going to fireball that tow truck, but we're past it, right?
Sort of. You're kind of going around the side of it, and Gontu's angling to the road behind it.
I don't know if I would be too concerned now that we're past it. No sign of this steamroller.
You want to take an action to try and locate it?
Yeah, I do, because that would be the next thing we have to handle.
All right. Nice. So you don't have to roll for this. So steamroller, actually, there's these like drainage. They're like little cement culverts, right? Where the drainage comes through. So it's tucked itself into one of them just off the side of the highway. And as you're driving past, you see it kind of edge forward a little bit. You notice that it's been modified some. You're not sure to what extent, like if it's heavier armored or if maybe they've jacked it up for speed, but it's just kind of like lying in wait. And it looks like it's on your next leg of the road that you're going to go through. The little drainage concrete structure that it's parked under, it's just going to jet right out.
I would point that out then, and yeah, okay. So yeah, just look for that.
All right. I think that's everybody then. Okay, so their turn. So you clear the tow truck. It tries to reverse. I'm going to roll, but you did significantly drop its ability to maneuver. Let's see here. Basically, I'm going to make a roll to see if it can be operational or not. I'm not going to burn any of my push dice on it. A 6. I got a 6. So yeah. So it reverses. It looks like it's got several blown tires. It's not going very fast. It's not very under control. But it's instead of going forward or turning around, it just driver kicks it in reverse. He's going to try and ram you with the rear of the vehicle. That'll happen next round. This round was just used to clear an adjective so it could still be useful. But it looks like it's not completely out of the business. All right. So that... I'm going to say it hasn't had time to do that yet. What else can I do? I've got 2 dice sitting here. I think I'm going to try and swarm you for some of the smaller vehicles, and they're just going to try and ram into you. What did you get on your last operate test, Gontu? You got a 6 something, didn't you?
Last roll I did was a fight, which was a 5.
5. Okay. Well, they're down to 3s now, so I don't think they'll be able to do much, but I do have 2 dice to use, so we'll see. Should be giving them harm dice is what I should be doing. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the 6s are taken out, the 4s are taken out. So a 1. They completely, again, you have some minor damage to the paint job of this beautiful vehicle of yours gone too. But it is deceptively agile. They just can't nail you right on. The best they can do is kind of come at an angle that just scrapes. I mean, it makes you mad each time you feel the little impact, as you know the repairs are not going to be cheap on it.
I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, that's 1,000 credits. Oh, that's another 1,000 credits. Oh, that's another.
Exactly. But they're not able to inflict an adjective on you at all. So home stretch, you're coming up. You see the mecha. What it's done is it looks like its lower half has shot out these cables, anchoring it to the cement. So it's not moving, and it's right in the middle of the road. It's also there because it looks like they have implanted these 2 rail guns on either arm, and it's bolted itself to the ground because those things are going to have a lot of kickback. Other than that, you've got the tow truck coming up on your rear quite quickly, trying to ram you, and that's it. Kaylee, you still have 1 aerial in the sky. So what do you guys do? Gantu, you can go 4-wheeling it again. You don't have to go right into this mech that's planted itself.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because you said there's and then there's
the
culverts, right?
The culvert. Yeah.
So is this like? I don't know if I'm picturing this correctly, but I'm picturing like what does the side of the highway or the road look like?
It's basically there's a small roll down, and it's just desert floor, or I should say plains. But there are these drainage. I don't know what you would call them. Have you guys seen these before? That are usually on the side of highways. They're kind of shaped like a pyramid, but the top cut off. They're made of cement, and it's for when you get flooding, so that the water, great deal of water, has room to be pushed out away from the road. You see them a lot in California. I don't know if you guys get them up in your way.
I don't think we get those there. I was just wondering, is there an angle? Like is there like a somewhat
there's a drop off
angle?
Yeah, there's a small drop off. Nothing extreme.
Because I was wondering if with the culverts, is it possible to go up and over them? Like kind of go up and over?
Absolutely.
That's what I would like to do.
So you want to go on to the other lane from you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be a little tricky just going up and down that, but your car is kind of built for it. So that's what you're doing. The vehicle just kind of veers to the left as Gantu is going to drive it across the culvert onto the other highway that goes in the opposite direction.
Everybody grab your asses.
Yeah. What is everyone else doing?
A clinch.
Clinch. Yes, you can clinch.
No, I was saying is that he's bypassing the steamroller roller. I'm going to do a focused shot at this big mech. It extinguished my fireball last time, but I think this would be a really great time to try again.
Make it sticky this time.
It's the one action he's got.
It's in one spell. It's one spell.
Fine.
I'm going to use forgetting about healing. So
I'm going to use my knockout spell instead.
Ooh, there you go.
There, Scout.
On the
there's
mech?
another spell.
Or on me.
Yes. You can see a person. You're close enough. You can see there's a person driving it. Yeah. Kaylee, what are you doing?
I want to fly the second drone very low to the ground between us and the tow truck, so that when the tow truck rams forward, right into the bomb.
I like it. In Scout?
Tow truck seems to be mostly taken care of. We're on the other side of the road for the steamroller. I guess I'll shoot at the mech that's being knocked out. Would that mess up his spell?
No, not at all.
I'll shoot the mech.
So in order of operations, let's have Gantu make that veering off the road. It's an operate test. This isn't against the the people against you. It's just against the terrain. So I'm going to set it at a 4.
Okay.
Just
Gotcha.
middle.
I think treads apply again.
Yes.
In this case. I'm going to say, I think luxury might apply in the sense that like
good shock absorbers.
Yeah, it's got high quality materials, high quality, machinery in it.
Yeah.
Then I also think let's see, how many can I put in this?
Up to 8. Up to 8. The roller won't roll more than 3 at a time, but
yeah, I want to make sure I pass on this one. So, I think I'll do reflex simulators again. The idea of having to do careful adjustments really quick to compensate for the angle.
Absolutely.
So I am reflexive and quick, I think would apply.
So that's
1,
4.
2, 3. That's 4 total. And then
remember, you might want to save some back in case you don't take out the mech, because there will be some retaliation.
I'll just do the 4 then.
Okay.
Okay, and then the only problem I have is I can never get it to roll more than 3 die.
Right, it won't. So just roll an extra d6 after you
one.
hit your roll. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. That's a 6 already. Let's see if I can get. And there's another one, 6.1.
Okay. Since you're just driving, there's nothing you need to make sticky. So you just successfully jump the culvert, pop up the other side. You're on the highway that's going in the opposite direction. There's no traffic on it, of course. And behind you would be more of their roadblock, but it's free up front. It's like there's nothing for miles up front. So you do that. Now, while you're doing that, Kaylee, you maneuver, make me an operate roll. And so what'll happen is I'm going to take your success, whatever it happens to be, and that is going to be his difficulty number when he tries to ram your vehicle before Gantu gets it out of the way.
All right, I'm going to add...
or as Gantu gets it out of the way.
I'm going to add technical and secretive to this roll.
So 2, okay.
Oof, that's rough.
It's 3.1. Okay, so that's its difficulty. 4. Yep, sorry. 4. Yeah. All right. Scout. Go ahead and make me a shooty test. And anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'm going to be adding aggressive and idealistic. I know in my heart of hearts that this is going to be a good shot.
This is the way to do it. All right.
When you're like in the groove, like you're just at the top of your game, you're doing something you're good at. You're like, it feels right.
Yeah. Well, 6.1.
Oh, yeah.
6.1. There we go.
Okay. Now here's the thing. Do you want to make any of this sticky? If you make it sticky or if you make it permanent, if you make it permanent, you'll take out the mech. If you make it sticky, it'll reduce its dice.
Then I'll definitely make it permanent.
You're going to make it permanent. Now, that does give me 2 dice to use if you do that.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
That's worth it.
Okay. In which case, Ivan, you see the mech just kind of seize up as Scout from the bottom to the top, just peppers it with whatever Gantu has loaded these cannons with. Depleted uranium, you're guessing? As it just does a number on this thing. It just tears it apart. You see the driver that's basically just held in place with this metal framework. It just does a little dance under that canopy as they're just plugged full of holes. That is no longer a problem. However, coming up on you very quickly, and it may or may not hit Kaylee's aerial as it's coming down, is this tow truck that is it's reversing very quickly, and as Gantu goes down the embankment, it's following Gantu, and it's getting even a little bit more momentum as it's going down that culvert to try and hit your vehicle.
Then I was going to...
You're way out of range of the cement roller thing, by the way. Like, once you get off the road, it can't get to you.
Yeah, I was going to try and knock out the mech, but if that's no longer a thing, I'll knock out the driver of the tow truck.
There you go. Go ahead.
And I'll have 3 dice on this.
And I'm going to roll a d6 just to see what this guy's. Here we go. Random side. Boom. The difficulty is going to be a 3. He's not got a lot of mental.
It's a 6-1.
He's got a whole lot less now.
Yep. So you don't necessarily have to make it permanent or sticky because you just needed a momentary distraction so that Gantu can get back on the road, which you've done.
No, I want to make it sticky.
You want to kill him. All right. So
wait, I'm knocking him out. I'm just making
knocking him out.
Take a very long nap.
So yeah, he just slumps forward over the steering wheel, and it causes him to veer out of the way. And as Gantu hits the embankment on the other side, and he goes freewheeling for a little bit before the van hits the road, and you streak off, he just slams right into the side of the culvert. The vehicle flips. And of course, it's Hollywood, so there's a big explosion.
But we don't look at it.
Michael Bay
No,
directed.
you don't.
We're
You
too
don't look
cool
at
for
it.
that.
Kaylee's ultralight hits the ground where the tow truck was and just explodes and takes out part of that roadway there. And so you guys are traveling in the wrong direction on a highway as there's explosions and all kinds of things going on behind you. There's actually a few people cheering you on. You see one guy off the side of the road. He's got a rocket launcher on your side, and he just puts it down, just raises up his beer can to you.
Gantu will stick his cyber arm out the window and flick off everybody.
Gantu, we got to turn around for the bike now. Fortunately, you're on the right side of the road.
I'll pull over and let you out, and you can head on back.
You promised you'd go back for it.
We haven't
They're fine. They're
delivered
happy now.
these
We
people
won.
to say. I'm sorry. Do you want us to save these people or not? I'm sorry, everybody.
It'll
Our
be
orc
5
friend here
minutes.
doesn't want you all to be safe and your children to be safe. We have to go get a motorcycle. You don't even know how to properly drive.
We won the challenge. They're not going to start shooting at us again. They love us. We're the heroes.
Okay, well, why don't you just hop on out then and walk back and get it if that's what you believe?
Are you slowing down for me to hop out?
Nope. Someone just push him out the door.
Yeah.
I paid a lot of money for that bike.
We'll go back and get it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
stop.
let's go back.
I'll stop.
After we rescue everyone.
Okay.
I'm going to stop the vehicle. Once we're out of range of folk and be like, okay, there you go. Hop on out.
So as you stop the vehicle and somebody slides open the side door so Scout can hop out, it's one of the people you're saving. You hear, because you didn't see it, loud buzzing sound. Yeah, and it's not very far behind your vehicle.
Need that invisibility spell again?
Yes, I invisible the lady again.
Can you invisible me and my bike?
I invisible the lady and Scout.
And my bike?
And Scout.
The bike is nowhere close. All right, so you invisible the lady again, but the swarm still seems to be heading in your direction. Could be because you're the only target that's on the road from where you guys are seeing. What do you guys do?
Go.
Oh, keep driving. Yeah, at this point.
Okay.
You're
going to kick Scout out and he's on the ground or what?
You got 3 seconds to make your decision. Okay? In or out. 3, 2, and then I'm counting down so that I middle finger him on the 1.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not running through that.
Okay.
do it.
All right.
I
Well,
believe in
hop
you.
on in, baby boy.
I never actually got out.
Of course you didn't.
Some of the people you saved are getting ready to kick him out. They're like,
Oh,
I saved you all.
Oh,
You saw me shooting back there. I saved you all. Ivan,
team
that
effort.
guy, he did shit. He did shit.
Are you kidding
I
me?
took out the tow truck.
I took out the tow truck.
No, you didn't.
Gantu, how fast are you driving?
Pretty fast, I would say. I don't know. I don't have any specific speeds, but I'd definitely be over the speed limit. I don't know how fast I can go, but
the wrong way down the highway over the speed
on
limit.
On a scale of 1 to 6, how fast are you going?
I got reflex simulators. I'm going 6.
All right. So you tear through. Your vehicle is fast enough to outdistance the swarm that seems to still be following you. You're not sure if they are just tracking you now, or if they've just got a lock on the woman. You're not sure, but they're following you. You're getting distance on them. When Gantu hits the invisible wall.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the speed is how many dice I'm rolling against you.
Oh, no.
Okay. So 6. Their difficulty is going to be, I'm going to say Gantu has a split second to say, hey, there are an awful lot of cars all piled up in a line. Oh, shit.
Why are they all cut in half? That's weird.
That's strange. Like
under
the dome show.
What's Gantu's operate number, his verb? How many points do you have?
3.
Okay, so that's the difficulty. Now, you can raise that difficulty, but you need not do it until after I roll. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll let you do it after I roll.
Okay.
I have 2 dice sitting in my pool there, so I'm going to use them. Okay, so I got a 6. That's my best number. Okay, now you do have to decide what you're going to do. So that was definitely going to succeed. You know what? I didn't keep any of my dice back to make it sticky, so it's just going to be a momentary thing for everybody. But it's still going to affect you. So do you want to raise your difficulty by tagging some adjectives, or do you want to just take it? It's not going to be sticky. It's just going to be a momentary thing. I'm probably going to put dazed on everybody as you're all just kind of shaken as the car just suddenly stops going at a quite high speed.
I think it makes sense in the story just to take the days.
All right, so it's a hard stop going very fast. Luckily, it's a luxury van. It's got some shock absorbers in it, including in the cab and everything. So, so everybody's just kind of thrown. Your dashboard impact bag goes off. It's actually in the future. It's a gel foam that just suddenly fills the cab, and everybody is just thrown around, jostled, and you've come to a complete stop. Might be some damage done to the car. You're not sure after a stop like that.
Well, we found the exterior. What's next?
This is why we have speed limits, Gantu. This is why we have speed limits.
You could have gotten out and walked back, and you didn't. So shush. We're
all going to be walking now.
No, we're not. This thing's just fine. It's the hussy.
I want to use my detect spell while they're bickering to see if I can sense anyone outside of the dome.
Okay, you do not have to make a roll because the dome is specifically designed that nothing passes through it. No signal, no spell, no nothing. So you cast it, and it's just like casting in with no target. It doesn't stick. So Gantu, so this was the adjective is a fleeting adjective. So basically, you just get out and just realign a few things under the hood, and it's fine.
Okay. Like say, good as new, no problem. Ain't no invisible, impenetrable force field can stop the hussy. I mean, it can stop the hussy, but it can't defeat the hussy.
Yes.
The van's cab is filled with the sounds of dogs barfing at the sudden stop and just making a mess of your upholstery.
The gel is a cinnamon flavor, so there's that at least. Paid extra for that. Okay, we need a way out. Kaylee, could you maybe talk to Tabitha, see if she might be able to lend a hand on this? Any ideas?
Sure. I'll hook up my pan to Tabitha. If there is some sort of a hookup to the briefcase.
Yeah, this is like a standard port connection.
Neat. I'll throw my virtual form at it to try to communicate with her.
Okay. So your senses are overwhelmed for a moment. You find yourself in a smoky, old-timey bar. You see a neon light in the window that says Sam's. There's a very fat guy with a red fez on his head, smacking horse flies off of himself with like a little strap. He's got a monkey on the other shoulder, and there's a tall, thin elf with hair done up in like the Marilyn Monroe style, very curly blonde locks, almost platinum blonde, slinky red dress on. Looks over to you, Kaylee.
With my leather jacket and my mohawk. Sup? We seem to be in a pretty sticky situation. We're up against like this big giant dome that's covering all of Chicago, and we got a bunch of killer insects with astral parasites coming to kill us. Got any ideas for an escape route here?
Well, for all the virtual locations you come to mind. I see. And why exactly should I help you?
Because you're stuck in Chicago and you're going to get nuked, dummy.
Well, the nuke is a problem, and I don't seem to be able to upload myself anywhere. The signal's really bad.
Yes. The dome cuts off the signals. We're screwed.
I see. Well, I don't know what the dome is, but if you can connect me to it somehow so I can analyze it, and I might be able to give you a better idea of what to do.
Okay, so this dome, what sort of technology does it work with? Is there some sort of a projection? Barrel?
It's magic, but there might be something else going on with it as well. This technology, it might be a mix of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the hexagonal.
You don't know the magical end of things, but yeah.
All right, so the best I can do is I can give you some sort of visual aid on this sort of shebang. I'll tell you what, I'll hook you up to my drone and fly you around, and maybe you can get us some sort of an idea. How about that?
Sure.
All right, then. I'll plug myself out. Then I'll plug my drone up to the briefcase for a while and wait for some sort of uploading indicator, like firmware update indicator.
Okay. After a while, so like there's a couple of lights in the briefcase, and after a bit, they start flashing.
I'll open the door and I'll send the drone out to go take a look around.
Yeah, I thought that's what you're doing. So in other words, so she's already taken a look through the drone, and she's kind of signaling you that she's got what she needed.
Oh, excellent. In that case, I'll hook myself up to the drone directly then and see if I can't talk with Tabitha through it.
Okay. She says, well, and she's sitting there and she's kind of scribbling on a yellow legal pad, a bunch of formulas and math that you don't quite understand. Some of them are sigils as well. And she says, well, that's an interesting little, well, it's not all a spell. It's a little bit of techno magic. That's fascinating, really. Well, I have an idea of how you can punch through there. Small enough hole that you can get a signal out. Will that do?
That would do just nicely.
Great. Do you have someone capable of harnessing arcane energies?
We sure do. His name's Ivan. Despite what some say, he knows more than one spell.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
Because I'm not in the conversation.
And I need someone that's fairly good with technology. Yourself? Perhaps?
Yeah, I'm not too shabby.
Okay. There's a 75% likelihood that it'll end in your synapses being fried and your bodies will live, but you may be vegetables. You okay with that?
Oh, I'm really more of a meat eater myself, but sure, why not?
Okay, well, this is what you need to do. And then, Kaylee, you come out a little shaken by what needs to be done here, but you have information. On your pan is essentially a ritual. So a bit of arcane magics that you can show to Ivan, and he can supposedly interpret this. as well as she's told you what to do, which requires you to hook yourself up to the van's battery unit. You're going to electrocute yourself just enough that you're going to die. You're going to flatline. But someone should be able to get your heart moving again after a bit. But you need to be just on that verge of not quite all the way dead, where Ivan can kind of link up with your astral form, just right on the brink of death. And between the two of you, you should be able to knock a hole in that shield, just a pinprick, just enough to get a signal out there.
Well, that's horrifying, but I guess getting electrocuted instantly by a car battery beats being nuked. So Kaylee would be down with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So Ivan, you look over the pan, and it is it's an alchemical formula. You went over this in school. You know what this is. It's a fairly simple ritual. There's some risk involved, as you're going to have to take in a fair amount of power to do this. Kaylee is essentially her astral form is going to be a needle with which you're going to be able to wield for just a moment, because if it's more than just a few moments, Kaylee's probably dead for good. And you're going to use her to basically just prick a hole through that, large enough for you to shove an antenna through and get a signal out. It's not complex, but it's risky.
I'll do it.
Especially since the death part is not likely going to happen to you.
Yes.
Not likely. Okay. So we'll start with Ivan's part of it. Let's see if Ivan is able to successfully. So what you guys are going to end up doing is you're going to need to get a sticky adjective onto the shield where breached. That's what you're looking for. Okay. So you got to make enough successes and enough dice in your pool to be able to do that. 2 parts. So both of you have to succeed and put a sticky adjective on this thing. So Ivan, for your part, on your magical side, do you have here? What you're looking for is the lowest amount of energy that you can find in an area. This is basically the thinnest part of the shield. So this is actually going to be a detect under your astral.
Under astral.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go astral. You start by the formula that you're given. You know what kind of to look for in the fluctuation. The field itself has almost like an aura. So it's almost like you're reading a living thing. And the formula is telling you how to find the thinnest part of this. So detect is what you're going to use as a verb. You've got any adjectives that'll help you?
Just astral, because my other one is sneaky.
Okay. Sneaky doesn't really help here.
Yeah.
You got any other adjectives across anything that'll help?
No.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You just needed one die charge to be able to put a sticky situation on it. So go ahead and have us a roll. The difficulty on this to find the thinnest part of the shield is only a 4.
Okay. No pressure.
Look at that. You got 4.1.
4.1.
Nice.
Okay. And then you spin your charge die. You discharge it to make it sticky. You have found the location. The field kind of moves, so the weak spot doesn't stay in the same place, but you're able to nail it down, so it's not going to shift for a bit. Then Kaylee applies the car battery to herself, shocking herself to death.
Before she does, Kaylee would like to sort of wave Scout over for a moment.
Yeah, what's up?
When I began my musical career, my first concert was disrupted by those drones. You remember?
The shark parrot things.
Yes, and you punished them.
I saved your life.
You punished them for me on top of it. Ruined them for disrupting my musical career. And I never did.
We were doing great.
Well, yeah, we were doing. But I never did thank you for punishing them for me on my behalf. Thank you.
Do you mean it?
And then Kelly shocks Scout to death.
That applies it to herself.
Scout will now die for you.
So, do you shock yourself, Kaylee, or do you shock Scout?
Well, I give him a little zap in the arm before really applying it to my chest.
Yeah, like you short it just across your chest area, so it goes through your heart. Okay. So what's going to happen with this is I'm going to roll, and you're going to take, well, possibly, you may not take any. You're going to take some harm dice, so some hurt dice. I'm going to base this on, what's your fight?
1.
Okay, that's fine. So it needs to do some damage to you, or this is not going to work. So, Gantu, on a scale of 1 to 6, how powerful are the batteries in the car?
I mean, a 6. I gotta be honest.
It's gotta power all this.
Yeah, there's a lot has to power, and Gantu likes his toys, so he would go top of the line.
Whew. Okay, I can safely say that Kaylee is dead, as intended. So yeah, Kaylee, you literally shock yourself to death. Your heart stops, and in that moment, Ivan, you see that Kaylee's astral form, and Kaylee can see astral, so sees that Ivan's waiting and gives her the nod that he's found the weak spot. You see Kaylee's astral form part from her body, and now Kaylee is going to be wielded like a weapon. Who wants to make the roll for that? Ivan or Kaylee? Let either one of you do it.
Kaylee, your neck's on the line here, so
I trust you with my spirit more than I trust me with my spirit.
Okay, I'll do it.
My heart's hurting so badly.
So in your astral or your magical venue, whatever you have for fight is what you're going to be rolling for the verb.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. 1.
Okay. Well, you have up to 8 dice if you've got any adjectives that you want to pop for this. You're literally trying to do damage to something. So.
Okay. Well, if we go with, I got Battle Mage.
Okay.
So there's 1.
Okay.
I got my class, which is just regular mage.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Ivan is not good with the killing of things. All right. So as far as the difficulty, you found the weakest point. So I'm going to say the difficulty is only a 3.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll those dice.
I'm sorry, Kaylee.
Oh,
5. You did it.
Oh shit!
And with the 1 fight die too. Holy crap!
All right. So Kaylee's essence is wielded like a needle or a spear, and the hole is punched through. You have 2 charge dice. Do you want to make it sticky or permanent?
Permanent.
You got to make it at least sticky.
Permanent.
Okay. Permanent. Okay. That gives you some more options then. Okay. You make a permanent hole in the structure. Tiny little pinprick, but it's permanent. Now let's find out. Is anybody going to actually administer the first aid to Kaylee to get her heart going again?
Oh, I absolutely am.
Okay.
I would die for her at this point.
All right. Well, she drops. Gave you no indication of how long you should wait. Your first aid training tells you that brain death is going to happen in 2 minutes. Or they're going to start dying in 2 minutes.
I wouldn't want to chance it. I'd be going after a minute.
Okay, 1 minute. All right, more than enough time. So let's go ahead and have you do. Let's see, what's a good verb for this? Treat. That's the verb. Treat.
All right. I am
up to 8 push dice.
Idealistic. I am persistent.
You're always going to use idealistic. Okay, so like you're sure everything is going to work out in the end.
She's not dying on me, okay?
She's going to die on you. Okay, that's 1.
Persistent.
Persistent. You're going to keep pounding that chest until it's just a bloody mess because the heart's not going to start.
I will.
What else?
I think that's really all I got.
Really? Okay. Wow.
I mean, I'm
Persistent
not a
and idealistic.
All right. Now your difficulty is going to be. Give me a second. Ooh. So what I'm going to do is it succeeded with a 6. The difficulty was a 1. So you need a 5. You need a 5. Now this can be treated. You can do this multiple times, but every time that you try it, I'm going to say is a couple of minutes that pass. So you sure there's nothing else that looks good? Does anybody else want to help?
If Gantu can, he'll help. Sure.
Okay. So what adjectives do you have that you can help with?
Well, see, you have that follow-up question, and that one's a more difficult one to answer. I
feel like aggressive doesn't help in this situation.
I'm savvy.
Tough would help if she was
Does
tough.
anybody have gear? Does anybody have like a first aid kit as gear?
I'm more of a
I bought a dooski and a motorcycle.
So I'll take savvy. That's fine. So you can add an extra die scout to your pile there. I'll put it in there for you. Anyone else?
I do have recreational drugs, and my astral form has the adjective constant.
Recreational drugs. Well, Scout, there's some drugs in her pocket. You don't know.
No matter what, I win.
Anyone? Ivan? Well, Ivan, you can't do anything. You're
I'm busy tending to the hole in the wall.
Right.
I mean, the only other thing, because it's like this is just applying a stim pack, or are we doing anything more complicated? Because it's something more complicated.
If somebody has gear, if somebody has stim packs or first
gear.
aid, then no gear.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Okay.
Are none of these people in the van doctors?
Could we make a case that a luxury vehicle might have basic first aid equipment?
Yeah. I'll throw that in
maybe something from the vehicle.
And out of all the people that you have, yes, one of them does know some first aid. So I will throw you another one in there.
Okay. So
now
we're going with it here.
Okay.
Kaylee, this is it.
And you'll need to have enough to make it permanent.
I also have a bowling alley. Does that help in all this situation?
It should.
Kaylee was never an avid bowler, so that's a negative.
That's true.
If I roll all 5 of those, I'll still have 3 left to make it permanent, correct?
Oh no, you spend what you roll. So I mean, you're fine. You have more than enough dice to make it permanent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. So you're only going to be able to roll 3 in the roller, and then just roll 2 more if you need it.
There's a 6.
There you go.
You got a 6, and someone else also just gave 100 bits to to do some healing. So, yeah. Either way, Kaylee, you take a big breath as your heart is jump started, and this happens like moments after Ivan and Kaylee figure out how to puncture the barrier. Ivan, as Kaylee's astral form is drawn back into her body, you rejoin yours as well. And you've kind of marked the space on the shield where, it's just very small pinprick of a hole, but there's a hole there.
Kaylee, you're alive.
Did you save me, Scout?
I think I love you.
Well,
where are those battery terminals?
Well, now I'm terrified.
I mean, yes, I did save you.
Well,
that is what I meant to say.
Exactly as I intended. Please step aside.
Do you need help getting up? Like, what? Take a breather. Slow down. What can I do for you?
Get me my chair and a car antenna.
Chair and car antenna. I'll get her a chair and I'll start pulling the antenna off the hussy.
That's another grand gone too. It's another grand right there.
He goes for that thing. I pull a gun on him.
It's for Kaylee.
I look at Kaylee and for confirmation that that's true.
I didn't intend that one, but I'll take it, and
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll
I'll
have more
jam the
than enough
car
to cook.
antenna through the hole in the shield.
Yeah. And so, you wire it up to your pan. So what's the message you send? Now you were told people will be watching for some kind of message. So what is the message you send?
Geez. It would probably be a bad idea to remain here for the rescue, considering we've got the swarm coming towards us.
Yep. They're not far away, but you've got some time. So yeah, what do you want to say?
Perhaps we go off-road 15 or so miles that way and come for rescue squad. Come for us. Yes. Yes, no.
Okay.
All
That
right.
makes sense.
I mean, you can send exact GPS coordinates if you want.
And that's exactly what I'll do. I'll take a 15-mile trip down the dome and send those coordinates out.
Do you wait for a signal back to say that anyone received that, or do you just go?
I'm fine with just going.
Okay.
Not getting eaten.
All right. You drive. The swarm has gotten back on your trail again. You can see it in your rear view, gone to. But you drive to location that Kaylee says that she sent the information off of, and you get there, and you don't see anything. You wait.
Ivan, you sensing anything? One of them other freaking dimension thingies?
Yeah, I'll pop out and take a look.
The shield is solid and powerful right here. So again, you can't see out of it. You have no idea what's going on the other side.
Yeah, no idea.
Do we wait? This is what you said. We got the right coordinates, right, Kaylee?
Yes.
Do we have a time frame on evac?
Well, sometime between now and the next 68 hours, I hope.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, how long did you say you would take to get there, Kaylee?
I did not.
You didn't say at all. Okay.
I was
All
hoping
right.
I was hoping the urgency of the situation might be transmitted, but aside from that,
Okay. So the insects descend upon you, or will very shortly. What do you guys want to do in preparation?
Kaylee, what I said earlier about love, like I meant love isn't like love.
The
like
Greeks had
the
five
group
kinds
love.
of love, you see. And
I'm not like in love with you. I mean, that would be ridiculous. Yeah. Do you want some water?
yes, but first, why would that be ridiculous?
No. You're perfectly lovable. You're very lovable. No, I'm not like that would be ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous to love you. No.
so
I
the
mean like
insects pause and they're like, "Is this an awkward moment? Should we give him a second?"
Yeah, one
Kaylee-
second, guys. They're working something out.
Kaylee's cracking open her Simpsons lunchbox to eat her synth flesh that she packed on the trip. Might as well.
I'm getting her a water.
All right. Is anybody doing anything other
I'm
than
going to cast invisibility on everyone inside the van.
mass invisibility? So over everyone. Okay. Good enough.
Is it possible for you to cast that on the hussy itself?
I do have the tag tech affecting.
Then yes.
Because if you make it invisible, would it then extend to what's inside of it?
I'd allow it, but I'm not the one in charge.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe if you do that and just make us all invisible,
Cool.
like the whole thing.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Okay. Everybody gets inside the van. You make the entire thing invisible. The swarm descends. You think that it's at least partially working because they're not descending exactly on the van, just kind of in the area that the van is. You hear some pings here and there as some of them collide with you, but as a mass, they're not they don't seem to be focused on you. You're just like in the middle of the swarm. Bug guts are piling up on your windscreen here and there. You do hear them kind of peppering the top of your van like heavy rain. You notice that some of them are coming down with their abdomen stingers, and they're actually piercing the roof at points. But still, it feels like it's mostly instinct rather than them making a concentrated effort to get at you. And this goes on long enough that you can't see through the swarm. Like, you're enveloped by it. Your windshields are covered. And then you hear the sound of like air evacuating quickly. And the van's internal instrumentation tells you, Gantu, that the skin of your van is heating up very quickly. You guys are hearing pops from the outside, sizzle through the air vents. The smell of burning flesh. And then Gantu, there's a pop, pop, pop. There's a rap on the driver's side window, but you can't see out. There's just bug guts everywhere.
He's there. No, I'll just scream at the top of my lungs.
Military. It's muffled because it's a luxury car, so
yeah,
sound dampening.
All right, I'm gonna lower it. Everyone, hold your breath. I'm gonna lower it.
So there's a military man out front. He's got a full environmental protection suit on. He's got a flamethrower, and they're just burning the skin of your van. You're like, that's at least 10 grand.
Oh, Bert, I'm sorry, real quick. Gantu, did you crank lower your window on a luxury van?
That's what makes it luxury, because all other vans would have electronics.
You don't have automatic windows?
Steven doesn't understand that we're on a stream and there's like a show component to this. And
I'm a method
doing
actor,
the universal sign for like, it's like adding layers to the performance.
No, I like the idea of a luxury thing, but the crank itself doesn't do anything except activate an electric switch, so that no matter how fast you crank it, the window just goes down slowly.
It's a luxury crank. It's got like a felt handle and everything.
So there's a strike team there with flamethrowers. They're basically sanitizing your van as they're burning off all the bugs. And then he's like giving you the hand to like drive forward.
Okay, here we go. It's like a Flintstones car wash.
You guys back out, and you back out, and there's just like a convoy of military vehicles just waiting, and the men start to back out slowly, and then you see the shield kind of repair itself as there are some battle mages and some people with large like suitcase computers doing something with the shield, and it seals up. There's a large like Huey type of chopper that lands, backdrops for you to drive onto it, and they kind of just signal you to go.
Yeah,
I'll send a text message to Marcy the AI, because I know she's got my pan now.
Yep.
And I'll just let her know that we got Tabitha out.
All right. You got a digital thumbs up and just a IOU come across your pan, which was the deal you had with her. Right, and you're basically taken to a military base for debriefing, where they just ask what were the conditions inside. They just grill you for hours, but after which you are paid exactly what they said that they would pay you for. Do you tell them anything about the woman?
Well, I'll let Ivan handle that more than anything, but I would actually tell them about the deal that we made with the some of the scientists and such that we recovered, and how they knew they had a specific point in the city that they wanted more of a tactical strike as opposed to like a broadband. So I'll try to press upon that during my debrief.
Sure. They take that down. You're assured that something will be done with this information. You're not assured that they're going to follow up on this information, but he assures you that they will.
During my debrief, I'll just be talking about Kaylee. Like, you ever see a girl eat this much red meat? Like, it's impressive. You know, I'm an orc, so I appreciate those things. And like, she barely even cooks it. Like, it could just be walking right off the farm.
Doesn't even have to be a farm animal. Could be a farmer.
All right. So it's mostly them asking you questions, but if you get an opportunity, is there anything anybody wants to ask? You are paid at the end of all of this, but all this is going on.
Are these aren't the people we're supposed to turn the people over to, are they?
You don't know for sure. Murloc isn't there with them.
Do I have Murloc's phone number?
You have a number for Murloc.
I would definitely call it and get his input on this.
Okay. You call the number, or you try to dial the number on the pan or connect to it. Not only is it the number never existed. It's like number not found in directory. Not that it's been disconnected, it's just number not found in directory.
Can I talk to Kaylee?
You are all initially separated and kind of talk to individually, but at the end of it, you're paid and you can talk then. So before you talk together, is anyone else asking questions in your own individual interrogations?
See, that's what I want to tell them about the lady, because I don't want, Bug City version 2.0, but I don't want to do it until we're paid.
Okay, so then you don't say anything then, because they don't pay you until after you're, at least at this point, we'll get to it in a second, but they don't pay you during your individual interrogation, so you have not said anything at this point.
I would definitely ask, like, what are the chances we could get the hussy back in for just a minute so I can go get my bike? We put it in the back. We come back out. We left some valuable equipment back there.
No, they will not send a team back through. Denied.
So then I'm going to have to bill you for that.
Dude, just stony silence. Just,
Do you have a billing department? Like, is there like a Carol and payroll I should be sending?
The person just stares at you. It's unnerving. Just complete impassiveness, just staring at you.
If there's anyone else in the room, I'll be looking to them. Like, do you know a Carol and payroll?
No answers. Gantu?
Yeah, Gantu, I think, would be trying to, in his sort of, kind of gregarious, like ho-hum kind of friendly way, trying to coax out any information about who these people are, And so I think it's just kind of just admiring their gear, their process, everything they did, and kind of trying to drop hints here and there, trying to see if he can read any information like who these people might be that actually picked this up.
Okay. They are geared in the same way as the people that came through with Murloc in your bowling alley. You don't recognize any of the faces, though, and they're certainly not wearing any kind of identification. Weaponry, uniform, everything fits. And they certainly act like government. But no one's saying names and no one's...
Okay.
Yeah. So you're not sure. You're really not sure.
Okay. I will not drop like Morlock's name or anything like that then. It's really just sort of a kind of just dancing around it in his affable manner.
Sure. Okay. So you're just answering very specific questions. And they're basically like, what are the numbers you saw? How many people were alive? Were, stuff like that.
I'll hand all it over.
All right. Kaylee?
I'll answer what all questions are available until such time as I get some alone time. Then I'll... do I still have my pan throughout this questioning?
During the interrogation, individual, no.
Okay.
Right afterwards, yes. All your stuff is returned to you as well as the credits. This is where everyone's together again. You're in a break room. It looks like they just took over like a mega mall sort of thing, and you're in the employees' break room.
Well, first I want to make sure that my pan has no downloaded memory on it that the man put on there.
I'm going to say that since you know your technology, nothing extra was put on your pan, but you can tell this your pan was duplicated. Like all your data that was on it has been duplicated and moved off. You put in a little piece of software that tells you when that happens.
Okay. Well, that's a pain. But anyway, I'll go ahead and I'll hook my installed CyberDeck up to my pan, and then I'll message Marcy, the AI, and send her all the financial information that I stole from the vet and the hotel.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'll ask her to transfer that information to a separate bank account.
Okay. She sends you back. At this point, it's just messaging. You're not going virtual, so she sends you messaging. It's very vague. It says Murloc's been cut out, gone missing the last 24 hours.
This guy.
Yeah, I'll just show that message to everybody and sigh heavily.
You okay, Kaylee? They weren't too hard on you in there, were they?
Why did you have to save me?
Well, no, I thought you wanted me to. I thought we were. Yeah. Okay.
Kaylee, we'll go back to messaging on her page.
Got to Ivan. You guys saying anything?
No. I mean, we've been paid, right?
Yep. You're basically paid on untraceable chips. So no accounts necessary. It's just got a hard encrypted amount of credit on it.
As soon as that payment hits my... Go ahead, Gontu.
Well, I was just going to say, like, we know Morlock's business. Like, we know what he really was. Like, we know his history. We know Black Ops kind of, it was not sanctioned what we were doing anyway. So it's not the type of thing that there's probably going to be a ton of conversation about. So the only thing that I think Gantu is worried about is the tactical strike. It doesn't sound like they're going to do anything about it, which means that's a little problematic there. But if we got our money, like I would probably say Gantu would keep quiet until we're out of earshot of these folk.
Okay. You guys are led back to your vehicle as you're all piling in. No one's really saying anything to you, but they lead you to your vehicle and they point you, off the compound. And as they're doing this, you see there's a black, like very large SUV sort of thing, and they're loading 5 what looks suspiciously like body bags onto it.
Well, 5 is the number of folks that we just extracted in terms of like the required folks, and they have their families on top of it. That is not a number I care for.
Do they know about the extra passenger in one of them?
I didn't say anything. I left that to Ivan if he wanted to share it.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much as soon as they handed me that cred chip, I'd be like, oh, that one also has crazy bug insect inside there.
Okay. All right.
Before we get in the hussy, can we do a one like Kaylee, can you?
Yeah, I'm looking for downloaded memory on that sucker.
I'm going to say, since you've got a luxury vehicle, and Gantu being a dwarf of suspicious nature, you probably have like a system on board that tells you if anything's been modified. Yes. Some things have been modified.
Okay. Does it seem like it's just communications tracking, or are they going to Godfather us? Are we going to get like Apollonia here?
So I'm going to ask a question. Are you doing a thorough search before you get in and drive off the premises, or are you going to wait, drive off, and do it elsewhere?
Well, I think I'll definitely do a thorough search, but I'll do it in like that kind of, oh man, we took so much damage. Oh man, it's going to cost me so much money. Oh man, my poor baby, type of thing. Trying to make
me a detect. Detect is your verb.
God, that's the worst for me.
Okay. Kaylee, if you're sweeping for anything electronic, same thing, detect, and then whatever adjectives you want to load up. Scout, I mean, it's obvious what they're doing. Same with Ivan. If you guys want to help, you can make rolls of your own.
It wouldn't be that obvious to me.
Okay.
I'll go with my virtual form. Could I do that? Could I hook myself up to the vehicle itself?
You gonna jack into the vehicle?
Yeah.
Sure, you can do that.
All right. In that case, I'm going to add technical, observant, and secretive to this roll.
So 3. Okay.
Yeah, I've got the adjective sneaky.
Okay. You would know where things were hidden, perhaps.
Yeah.
So you could tag that. I want everybody to make their own rolls, though, and not do a helping roll.
And what verb are we tying this to?
Detect.
Detect, yeah. Sorry. Had a burp there.
Ah.
Yeah, this ain't good for me.
This is bad. I got a 6.
Dang.
I also got a 6.
Nice. Kaylee got it 6-1. Okay. Kaylee, there's a fairly standard observation payload that's been put into the vehicle, basically tapping into the vehicle's internal cameras, audio devices, etc., and it's rerouting it out to another party, another server, where it's just basically recording everything. That was easy to find. That was almost there, like it's meant to be found.
Yeah.
There is, however, a tricky bit of software that's been loaded into the vehicle. In the moment, you don't know what it does. It's deeply embedded. This is military grade, very compressed code, very sneaky. You're not sure what it's meant to do, but there is a payload put in what little memory Gantu's vehicle has. Gantu, you're like, oh, that's like 10 grand. I'm gonna have to get a paint job. You look underneath, and it's like, yeah, there's something on the bottom that's been spray painted to look exactly like the rest of the mechanics under there. But you know that your car doesn't have a third fuel tank. It's about the size of that.
Well, that's a shame right there. Looks like there's a growth underneath the vehicle. Must have picked up one of them things that the drones were carrying when we were going through our little racing tournament there. Yeah, sure looks like something got caught up in the undercarriage. You know what I mean.
And I'm going to say Ivan finds this just because it's fun while everyone else is looking elsewhere. So Ivan, you're like, Gantu's vehicle's got a couple of, we'll call them smuggler panels, you know, because there's occasionally stuff that Gantu doesn't want people to see just right off the bat. And you're like, meh, and you open it and take a look. And as soon as you pop it open, you see looking up at you a beady eye and a finger coming up, or as the hump back turns around, as Murloc looks at you and goes,
there's so much. I think one of the dogs threw up. Let me find. I'm going to search for.
All your dogs have been cleaned, deloused, and are in cages waiting for you to take them off of the premises.
Lovely.
I'm going to get a data pad. Just open up like a note app because I don't know how to do much else. And I type it in. And I'm just questioned that I typed into it. Are they going to kill us when we leave?
There are some soldiers kind of waiting around. They look a little agitated that you're taking so long to take off. Some of them are looking down at like their time devices. Some of them are just like, big size.
So what does Morlock? I show this to Morlock. What does he say?
He just shakes his head.
I'll type in, so it's safe for us to drive off. Gantu, something is... there's some weird, like maybe one of those bee stingers pierced something electrical here inside. Can you come take a look?
I sure hope it's not the brake lights. We wouldn't want to be ticketed on the way out of here. As he wanders over, like trying to signal to Kaylee, Kaylee, can you take care of the undercarriage remotely or something? As I join Ivan in the back.
So how do you say that to Kaylee?
I mean, like we're all next to each other.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not using comms, so I would probably just do it like as I'm passing by here.
Okay.
Like, can you check underneath the undercarriage there.
Yeah, I'll do a quick look around to see what might be connected to the undercarriage area through the network, through the
So
vehicle.
the soldiers are looking really pissed at this point. One of them is walking over your way. Kaylee, you take a quick look at it. Nothing electronic to it. As far as you can tell, it's storage. It's like someone has just attached a container to the bottom of your car. You don't think it's an explosive. There's no tripwires. There's no electronics going into it.
Yeah, I'll jack back out of the vehicle and I'll just say, the hussy seems to be in working order.
All right. Sorry, boys. Just one of the dogs took a big old shit back here. Why don't we get going? And I'll like close the back doors at that point once Kaylee gives the all clear.
Okay. Close the back doors and you drive the hussy off of this mall shopping complex, and we'll end it there.
As soon as we do drive away, I am hooking back up to it to get rid of that observation software at the very least.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Chuck, you got anything that you want to throw out there?
Yes. On Wednesday, we're doing Thunder Rift Forbidden Lands. Fucking Christ. Thunder Rift Forbidden Lands. On twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. Thursday, we're scheduled for Curse of Strahd. Friday, we should be doing another playtest of Anvia, the system that Joe from Defenders of Kobold is making. And then Saturday at 1 p.m. over on Grim and Perilous Plays, we got some Strixhaven, and we got something going on Saturday night, but I'll let you talk about that, Bert.
All right. Sounds good. How about the Lollygaggers? Anything going on?
Yeah, tomorrow night, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We are playing Savage Worlds. We're playing the new Holler setting. Second episode. You can catch both Chuck and Bert in that game. Then on Friday, we're back to Traveler, Mongoose second edition. And on Saturday, you can catch me and Steven playing in a One Ring second edition game.
Sounds good. And if you found us, you know where we are, twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. The next game we've got coming up is Tuesday for some first edition Dungeons and Dragons as we play through the Desert of Desolation series. Friday is BX Dungeons and Dragons and playing in the Mystara setting. And Saturday, Goodman Games, Weird Frontiers, I believe. Yes. Yeah. Next Sunday is Boot Hill 3rd edition, probably, more than likely. Folks, thank you very much for anybody hanging out there tonight or watching the VOD. Much appreciated. Thanks for the bits that came out tonight. Guys, say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.